You are driving. Give me a wits and awareness if you want to.
Woohoo! Go, Julian.
You want to?
Just leave it to Julian.
Henry's happy to look anywhere but the road.
Julian sticks his head out the window like a dog.
Right.
And then it's like, what is it?
That's 4 successes for Dahlia. She's paying attention.
Okay, 2.
5 crit with a bestial.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, bestial failure if it isn't enough.
No, it's a passive thing. So.
There's a beast thing going on there, though.
You see Ella is looking in the rearview mirror, making eye contact with you all, seeing what's going on.
You got this down so well. Like, it's just, I can see her eyes just unblinking in the mirror.
For once,
It's a lot of ones.
Julian is not paying too much attention.
I was about to say.
A lot of fucking days.
I think if I did that correctly, it's wits and awareness
Plus
plus
all.
3. Okay, okay.
Oh, plus 4.
Oh, plus 4. Come on now. Okay.
Extra
I might have
days,
messed
extra
up.
days.
I might have messed up.
But that's like 12, 13 dice, isn't it, Julian?
3, 4, 11 dice total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that bears out. I did it correctly. I'm not a fool. Anyway.
Well, Dahlia, Julian, there is a rat under one of the seats behind you. This is a 7-seater car.
Ew.
Henry, there's a raven flying off to the side, same speed as the car. It's in the fog, but it's close enough to see you and you can see it. And a blinking light to the right of the car, also following you guys. Very faint blinking light.
Like one of the airplanes high up in the sky.
Yeah, probably. Or that mechanical thing that Julian referred to last night.
Is that supposed to be there?
What
Do we
is?
notice it when you
Henry's
point
just
it out?
going to point in the direction of the flashing lights that are keeping pace with us.
You do see a faint kind of red light, but yeah.
What is that?
Julian, now that he points it out, you recognize you don't want to know what a drone is, but you do.
Oh, that's the small machine I told you about.
Because we've got the Raven over to the left. We've got the. Why is everyone so interested in us?
Right. Why are we being followed by small machines and ravens, and why is there a rat in a car?
I never told anyone.
Maybe it's something we did in the 1990s.
Dallister will try his best to find out how to roll down the window, because I assume this is a modern vehicle.
Yes.
Henry will turn around.
He's looking for a button or something.
Point out what he needs to do.
You're kind of looking for the thing to turn, but you figure out there's a button you can kind of pull.
And once he does that, he'll just look at his seagull and just go, deal with the electronic thing. And throw the seagull out the window.
Well, it takes
Seagull.
takes off, and well, the light stops following you. It's not a normal sized seagull. Let's just say that.
Where did you keep that seagull?
Inside my coat.
Ah.
It's like a magician. He just pulls them out.
He has the top hat and everything.
I thought us Tremiers sort of avoided the stereotypes.
Well, who pulls the seagull out of a coat?
Oh, rude. Where are we going anyway?
Boatsman Oath. I assume Ella is pointing because she's been there. And also
Excellent.
she's in the front seat.
Directing, as it were.
I assume you drive along the harbor. At some point it changes in architecture into something more akin to Mediterranean. white, not very tall buildings, kind of flat roofs, a lot of balconies. This would probably be very expensive property if the weather was a bit nicer. And you could see more than 10 yards. The streets become smaller. A lot of them are not accessible by car. Kind of brick streets, and it's very what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of hills. There's a lot of elevation and in different heights. And you drive, and then you start to hear loud music, and you hit well, not literally hit, but you are at least slowing down. Maybe Henry's not, but there's a lot of people in the street kind of blocking your way as you're driving. Looks like a party in the middle of the street.
Is
Might
this
be
where we need to
beneficial
be?
for us to walk, maybe? I don't know. Ella, you've been here. Where are we going?
Well, we will be going inside. Is everyone able to mind their manners and polite company?
Always.
Yeah, of course, Ella.
I'll keep an eye on
Yes.
Dahlia.
Do you get out here?
Might as well.
Hmm.
A lot of the people who starts to walk towards the car. Obviously they're dressed for winter, but they are of Greek descent, all of them men. They have tattoos visible in almost every place, including their face. They look intimidating and thuggish, and kind of speaking Greek to each other, laughing. Ella, you understand it? Like, maybe these are an easy mark. We should take their car. Let's rob them. But they're still 10 yards away, at least, and walking slowly and very confidently towards your car. About 10, 10 guys. Julian, you hear a click, click from a gun being, bullet being put into the chamber.
Are these the dancers?
Would be so fortunate if they were. A little bit of something for everyone's taste. However, I don't know
At
how
least one of
skilled
them
they'll
has.
be.
At least one of them has a gun.
Hopefully they all do.
That doesn't sound very friendly or
I
relaxing.
guess in some certain situations, including this city, where there's been some higher than usual deaths going on and unanswered, they might be in the mindset that it's better to have the gun and not need it than to need it and not have it.
How many of you are blushed? I know Dahlia is.
Oh,
There's no benefit to Henry being blushed.
apart,
Oh, I
from,
did-
Repulsive.
apart from breathing.
I think I remember Julian blushed. I rolled hunger twice at the beginning of the session, and I got tens of both. Remember, I used my crit up already. That was that situation. So
I think she would be. She would also have awe up ahead of time.
Yeah. With all the attention is on you, definitely. They're kind of trying to circle you guys.
I'm not blushed out. I just look good.
They're just talking in between themselves in Greek and making jokes, being gangsters, being idiots.
Yeah, well,
And
let's let them try anything. Like Dahlia will give them a look that will
commenting
scare them
on
off.
on the pretty lady. One of the guys, he kind of goes behind his back, and then there's a whistle from behind them, and they all just freeze. He yells out in Greek. Ella understands this. Not these ones. Get the fuck away. You understand the word fuck. And they just hold up their hands, smiling kind of flippantly, and start to back off. A guy approaches you. Equally tattooed, but at least nicer dressed. There's a fedora on under his jacket, a silk shirt. A lot of chains around his neck, crosses, symbols from Greek myth. He has tattoos all up his neck, short beard, bald head, earrings in both ears. The fedora looks like it's made from snakeskin or something like that. And he seems to be the boss. He looks at Ella directly and speaks in English, perfect English, says, "You here to see the boss man?"
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing him if he's available, but we were also interested in a show potentially.
Just head down the street. The club is open. Sorry for my boys. They don't recognize your kind.
It's understandable. We understand that there's been some heightened sensitivities around this place given the recent uptick in crime. I'd rather you be cautious for everyone's sake.
Oh dear, we are the crime. And he smiles.
Good. Well, thank you. We will be on our way, but should we meet with him? Where would you like us to go?
Just up the street, he points.
Okay, understood.
Big pink snake, you can't miss it. You also notice that every one of them, under their cheekbone, they have a tattoo of a Medusa head.
Is there any opportunity to make a roll to divine any extra meaning from that beyond the usual?
No, it's the usual. It's Greek myth, the Gorgon. Right.
I understand. Yeah, okay.
It must be the gang.
Mm-hmm.
But they'd let you pass, and you walk about 50 yards. You see the outside of the club, which I will now find the description for. The front of the club has large frosted windows with what you assume is mannequins behind the glass, creating the illusion of frozen female dancers behind the glass. Above the door is a very large neon sign depicting a pink snake. The snake stretches from right above the main entrance to the top floor of the roof. 2 floors up. The windows on the first and second floor are completely blackened, making it completely impossible to see through. When you enter, you immediately turn left into a small room with a couple of nice couches. To the right is a large counter with a receptionist behind it, and to the right of that counter is a large sturdy door. You hear muffled music coming from behind the door. In front of the door is a gorilla-sized man blocking any entrance. The receptionist looks at you and smiles and says, "Welcome to the Serpentine. Is this your first time or are you returning patrons?"
First time.
First time patrons need to show some ID. I also need to have your fingerprint.
Understood. We are actually here for a meeting with a gentleman, the owner.
Hector?
Correct. We spoke with the gentleman outside and he knows that we're on our way.
Okay, you have on, right?
I do.
And just thinking half your dice as she believes you. And says, "Okay, so you're not patrons. I'll just a second." And she pushes a button and talks into her headset. There's a party here for Mr. Capri. No, I know there's nothing on the schedule. Oh, but yeah. Yes. Someone will be right with you. Takes a few minutes. Then a woman comes out from inside the club. She's wearing a suit, olive skin, tied in a bun. quite attractive. Stoic, a bit stern-faced. Da, 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 da. She greets you. Hello, my name is Katerina. How can I help you?
Good evening, Katerina. We were in the neighborhood and I was interested and invested in the establishment here, the family tree that I have and the connections that I have to the area. I thought it was only fitting that I introduce myself to an individual who has a well-established business such as this one. These are my associates.
She looks at all of you and says, "Oh, I see. You that kind of people. Follow me, please."
She mean that kind of people.
Kind you're not allowed to say out loud.
I'm blush.
How could she
I
tell?
look good. I'm breathing. I'm blinking. I thought I was doing this well.
Thousand Henry or not.
God damn it.
How does it smell in here? Like, what is a sense of this place?
A lot of things. Well, first of all, incense, sweat, alcohol, sex, perfume, a lot of perfume.
It's a bouquet of smells.
Like a lot of champagne, you think. Like this very sweet sour thing. It could also be cider, but you think champagne. It's too sour to be cider.
Does he hear the fizziness of the bubbles that are usually in
No, the music in here is unfortunately too loud. As soon as you enter, Julian, you have to turn off your ears.
He like winces and
Yeah.
then he kind of like,
But-
you know.
Still follow your nose.
Mm.
Inside the main room is a circular bar in the middle of the room. The bar counter is the most brightly lit thing in this entire place. Pink, of course. First from the entrance is a scene with 5 poles attached to it. Around the room are numerous sturdy round tables, and in the middle of those tables is a pole. So you can have a lady stand on your table while you're drinking and dance right in front of you, and hopefully she won't kick your drink down in your lap.
She better not. Dahlia might lose it.
All of the tables, including those that are not occupied, have exotic dancers on them, male and female. Very attractive and very lightly dressed. And above the stage is a very large mirror covering the entire wall. After the stage is a door, and right next to that is a staircase. The staircase is guarded by another gorilla.
Dahlia is just going to look at Ella, glance at Ella when she's not looking, and then back at the very obvious strip joint that we're in, and raise her eyebrows just a little bit as if like, oh, okay then. And then, just goes back to like, okay.
The right wall in here is a hallway with about 10 doors, you assume, for private dances. Ella, one of the tables is a woman dancing. You know her, or at least you did when you were alive. She looks exactly like her.
I'd say that Ella's going through here. She's not looking at anything. She has eyes on the money, not necessarily in the G-strings, but like on the business meeting kind of thing, And she has made a couple eye glances, a raised eyebrow back to Dahlia. And however, you'll see that the only double step that she takes on the way back is when she glances over and sees who she believes to be someone that she knew or might be related to them. And they're like, nah. Then she will continue on. She will snap right back and continue forward.
You're led to the stairs and upstairs in a nice, very nice office. And apparently the mirror is, well, one way. So you can see out into the entire club. Behind the large mahogany desk is a man sitting. He has a midnight blue suit on, slick hair, short beard, very pretty, in a snake kind of way. He is swirling a drink and gets up immediately when you walk in. Friends, welcome to my building, my establishment. What can I do for you? Someone to drink, perhaps? I have a bit of everything.
So it seems like quite a selection from before we got in the door to the entire establishment. And up here.
Well, entertainment and pleasure is my specialty. I can get anything for anyone as long as it does not conflict with the scary lady, who I've heard you've met and survived. Congratulations.
Scary lady, are you talking about Dahlia here? And she'll...
No, not that
Oh.
beautiful lady over there. I'm referring to Kaya, of course.
Oh, she was very nice.
Oh,
I liked
she's
her a lot.
not.
She was the delight.
Well, she seems
She's
a reasonable
extremely
sort.
polite. Yeah, she's quite well mannered. I'm sorry. Thank you for the compliment. She's going to like hold her hand. I believe we haven't been properly introduced.
He takes it very gently and
I am
kisses
Miss
it.
Gray.
Hector Gabri. At your service, Miss Gray.
Charmed.
He is kind of glowing like Ella.
And she's pointing to Hector, and looking back at Henry, saying, "Manners."
Facing you. He hasn't turned around.
Yes. So, Mr. Caprice, is that it?
As he's kissing Dali's hand and leans forward, his shirt is open very far down. A necklace kind of hangs out. Ella, you know exactly what this is. It's a piece of the spear. To the rest of you, it looks like a large, kind of faintly glowing, oddly shaped jewel.
She'll eye it a little bit too long. Like she's interested in the skin that he's revealed, but it's 100% not, before making eye contact with him. So it seems like you've been here and you're quite established. Anything that you enjoy the most out of being here?
Apart from meeting new and delightful people, I'm simply just a businessman. I keep within my domains and run the criminal underworld. When Kaya does not interfere.
Is he about a head taller than Patrick?
No, he's about...
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to convert everything into feet, but he's like 170.
Into American units.
Yeah, he's not a very tall man, let's say that.
1.4 hectares.
Like you would imagine from someone in Southern Europe.
5'6".
He will shake everyone's hand and kiss all the women's, and also Julian and Dowser. He kind of looks at you like a lingering expression, like he's thinking extra hard about something.
Dahlia is going to look at Ella because Ella kind of suggested this place, so she's kind of curious about what brought them here, or what Ella's goal is to bringing them here.
So, looking over now that the greetings have gone down, so question for you. It seems like there's quite a bit of a high incidence of individuals missing, and
Oh, it's not my boys, I assure you.
no, I didn't think that it would. They're quite secure from what my friends and I witnessed outside. But how would or what knowledge do you have about any gyms in town or security? I know that we all have our special skill sets and what have you, but I feel like my skills that I have would be best suited to helping other, maybe in a particular situation, in one setting, maybe not like your security outside, but training them, things of that nature.
Are you talking about soldiers? Or
I'm not one to discriminate on who would need my services or who could be best suited for training or bettering their skills, whether that be hand to hand, firearms.
I don't know, my boys just pick it up on the street. I'm not really training any paramilitary people, but I'm always interested in making my domains more secure. I'm not sure what you can do for me yet, since you only arrived, what was it, 2 nights ago, maybe? Unfortunately for you, since now you will not be leaving. But I might have uses for a group of people, since everyone else is on their own, apart from Sabrina and her butt plug, of course. Oh, and of course the mighty and graceful Baron and the speaker. He kind of looks around, probably looking for rats.
She'll notice that. Are you looking for something?
You never know when there's a rat around.
A rat? I mean, we're so close to the water, aren't they everywhere?
If it were up to Margaret, they would be everywhere, yes.
Talia's going to make a note of that. She says, do your people play with the machines?
The machines?
The ones that buzz around. Our more perceptive members of our little party here have occasionally spoken of flying machines.
Talking about a drone?
That'd probably be right.
That's probably what they're called now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have drones.
Are you familiar with who might have them? Because, as I mentioned, you
can just buy them on Amazon.
They come from the Amazon?
No, you can buy them on the internet. You can order them. Anyone. It doesn't require anything special.
The internet. Fascinating. She's like writing this down.
The internet. How do I get a hold of this internet?
That's right.
No. So with the rats, are you saying that we should be cautious and not engage in or reveal too much should we see a rat near us? Or is this more of a figure of speech?
Don't forget the ravens.
Just assume that anyone is watching you at any time. Of course, not me. You would notice my boys, I'm sure. You're competent people. And I have no interest in surveilling you. I do a lot of shady shit myself. And I love when other people do the same. But I do not recommend doing anything that the Baron does not like. Whatever that might be.
Well...
But I would be more worried about Kaya.
Okay.
She controls the police.
Interesting.
Don't you consider that to be a good thing, though?
No. No. Because she's been around for many centuries, and she has this insane moral compass. And being what we are, we sometimes indulge in what some might call evil.
How about sin?
Sin is another word for it, yes. But
You indulge in sin.
oh yes, I am a sinner, Mr. Henry.
Excellent. Are all of your boys sinners?
They are thieves, drug dealers.
Behind him, Dolly is going,
Are you interested? I can procure someone with a bit of extra in their system if you would like to have a very nice experience. Have you ever tried ecstasy, Mr. Henry?
I wouldn't know how to spell it. But no, I was just interested for later.
But I do draw the line at murder and, you know, horrible crimes like kidnapping and human trafficking. I do not do that. That's not pleasant for anyone. And I really just want people to have a good time.
Are there any glasses of alcohol or anything like this near him?
Yeah, you put one on the table.
Unfortunately, Henry's accidentally knocked it onto the floor. If it breaks, Henry's going to apologize and pick up a piece of that glass.
Yes.
And then just move to the back of the room.
Ella will step in between Henry and the other person because she doesn't know what he's on about. But she's going to look back because she's probably going to see Dahlia now, like being like, what the fuck? And so she's going to say, my apologies. So I understand that your security is doing well and they've got individuals and or places or locations that they've learned quite a bit, but where business and ensuring the security of business is concerned, could I be of use to offering up some skills to the women who help the entertainment within the club?
Dahlia's eyes once again rise up. You know, she's like, okay.
I'm intrigued. What are you suggesting? You're not starting a union, are you?
No, absolutely not. No, I just believe that in this city, we have to look out for everyone, including Kaya and the police, it looks like. So what better protection than self-protection? We can't all carry guns all of the time, but we also, even with the best technology and or advancements at your door, need to have some skills that are helpful on and off of the table.
So you are looking to help my monkeys in the sense that the women can take care of themselves and then they don't need to do their job.
I think that the individuals that you have employed for security are doing a fantastic job, but they cannot be everywhere all of the time. And if the girls are one of your biggest assets, it would lend everyone.
Well, they are
favor.
handpicked.
They are handpicked. But are they here in your establishment 24/7?
Unfortunately not, but they are within my domains. And my boys does not... They keep an eye on them, but I'm hearing what you're saying and I'm intrigued, but what I want to know is what do you want in return? Because
I think that in it...
no one is doing anything out of the goodness of their heart. Apart from Mr. Julian, maybe, I've heard.
Dahlia looks back surprised.
I think that's the goal here is to have more protection for everyone involved. When we have more eyes and ears around, we have more individuals looking out for ourselves, whether that's for Kaya, the police, or otherwise. I don't directly get a benefit from it, but I am positively impacted, if that makes sense. If we could occasionally have a table where we could discuss business, should we need it, out of the eyes and ears of others, that could be beneficial too, without the whole fingerprinting, what have you, but
so that's the price, getting in with my good graces.
Potentially, yes.
I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna think about it. It might be beneficial, but I need to do a cost-benefit analysis.
Of course, I would expect nothing else where business and the future growth is concerned, especially in a small location like this.
He kind of snaps his fingers, and Katerina quickly rushes to his side. Give Miss Quinn my number. Katerina is my main, everything in the mortal world. And if you need to get a hold of me, you call her at any time.
Understood. Thank you so much for seeing to it that we could have this short conversation this evening. And if you'd ever like to go to church, our dear friend back here.
Oh, me and Devon are not, we don't see eye to eye. He's a bit fanatic and looks down on sinners. He looks at Henry for a moment.
It's understood. Well, thank you again for giving us a moment of your time. I believe we are going to our next stop this evening, and
You cannot leave without at least partaking in something in here. I have so many things that will cause you great pleasure. So many people, so many drinks.
understood. So she'll look around and she'll say, "What do you have in the decanter over there?"
A bit of wine for those of us who still can, but I can fill it with something else if you want to.
I can, and I shall.
What do you prefer?
All of the above, if it's an option, but
Tell you what, he points down to the dance floor. Pick any one of them.
So she will look to see who is grasping a pole in a very particular way to see if she can.
You'll find one. Fortunately, not your touchstone because I'm nice. And you
My
will
touchstone's a stripper.
be allowed for a private dance.
Dahlia is surprised.
While Ella is taking her 10 minutes, is anyone else doing something in the club other than just listening to the good music and looking at the beautiful people?
Henry's just focusing on a small piece of glass.
Are you gonna do the ritual? Do the raw.
No. Just preparing. He's
Okay.
going to wait to find the mortal.
Okay.
Dowser will find liquor.
As
Have a drink.
anything that you could possibly want except for cheap shit.
Some high-end vodka or something.
Yeah.
Norwegian throat singing.
This is not Colorado.
This is a reach, but Talia is going to look around for something that might be particularly special to someone on a spiritual level.
Sensei scene?
Finding a fetter, like basically looking for a fetter, yeah. Those things could be anywhere.
There's no feathers in here.
No fetters, okay.
But if you're looking for... Is anyone using Sense the Unseen?
I could be persuaded, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Julian? Are you interested in the other world?
I think Julian's a sort of kind of... He doesn't like going into loud places like this because then he truly is blind. He can't really see what's going on. So he's very much... His cane is like unfurled and he's holding it in both hands and he just kind of like turning his head from side to side.
It's a bit nicer in the office. A bit more soundproof so you can actually have a conversation. But yeah, you can still hear the boom, 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 boom outside.
He's just kind of chilling, I would say. I think he would not look into the other world. He's just sort of like taking everything in. Maybe even listening to the music. And he's like very, very peculiar, and it's like the trends are far different than when I was young. So that's what Julian's doing.
I only got a 3 on the Sense the Unseen.
Hector has something under his shirt that is glowing quite a lot. Powerful glow.
Inspect.
You can't see it now, but it's kind of, you see the chain, but it's actually just a leather strip, which doesn't match because everything else on him is very silky and expensive.
Okay. She will.
But you do not see the object itself. You just see like a glow coming from the middle section.
Darling, and she will suddenly approach him.
He is just walking around Dowser and Julian at the moment and saying, Yes, dear.
That's a very lovely chain you've got there around your neck. A pendant, necklace. Can I put it closer?
He pulls it out.
Yeah.
Again, it looks like an oddly shaped gem that's kind of glowing a little bit. You don't know if it's all the UV/neon light in here. It's very dimly lit. But it has a certain glow even without the sense the unseen. It's just something from where I come from, back in Greece. Yeah, object of sentimental value.
Okay. I just noticed it was very particular with your general attire and everything. It stood out to my eyes, and it just seemed very special and seemed to have a special place close to your heart. And
I assure you, it has no value at all. It's just sentimental.
I see. She doesn't really know how to follow up with that, apart from the fact that she believes it's some sort of like touchstone for him or something like that. I don't know if there's a way for her to do anything more with that.
No, sorry. Just thinking if there's anything in your past that might relate to it, but no, there's not.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Ella, you drink. Dowser and Julian, you're being objectified. Dahlia and having a conversation. What are you doing, Henry?
Wondering why he's not being objectified, and just generally finishing with the glass. Maybe some small talk with mortals. They'll probably get on.
Yeah. Any random or anyone in particular? Bartender, the dancers.
Anyone, probably bartender. Trying to. The girls are working, so I don't want to interrupt.
Imagine that, like, as Henry moves through the crowd, right? It's a bit like a shark moving through like a school of fish, and they all just kind of like move around. You know,
there's no dance floor, but it seems like he has a good perimeter. He always has space for the arms.
As he's moving through, like people kind of like spread around him. Yeah.
At least you have breathing room.
Indeed.
Don't breathe.
Ella, you get back. You tasted well and you're not poisoned, so great success. You do feel amazing though.
I was about to say, was she on anything? Like
No, but it's a very happy dancer. A very like happy individual in general, and you do have a resonance for the rest of the night. I can't remember what it's called. It's the
sanguine?
Yeah, probably. Presence and something along those lines. We're in a great mood. Before you leave the office, Dahlia, you mentioned something about a serial killer. He has a smile on his face.
Ah, yes.
I would talk to Cassandra. Oh, you go. But up in Whitechapel. She has a club, and word is, the FBI has been around. And not left.
That's very helpful information. Yeah.
Yes. Just go there and make trouble for her. of course, I wouldn't, do anything at the detriment of my competitor, but should anything happen, I would be happy. If you need any gasoline or explosives to make that happen, I'll provide it, but yeah.
I understand. I hear you, where you're coming from. Yeah. Knocking out the competition. Be sure to keep that in her little black book as well.
The mental vault.
Yes, exactly. Like, like Cassandra and Hector do not get along.
You get outside. I assume at some point your car is waiting for you. They have literally pushed it up the street. In front of the club. So it's waiting there for you. When you go outside, a man walks over to you, Henry. Hands you a phone. Here you go, sir. And then walks. Just simply dropping it off and then continues walking. With a kind of a blank expression on his face. And the phone rings.
Dahlia?
Yes.
For you.
She is going to step over and take the receiver.
You push the green button as far as you know. And it's not a smartphone. Put Henry on.
He said it was for me.
It's not. It's for him.
Who is this again?
None of your business. Put him on.
It's very rude not to introduce yourself.
Smash the phone.
If we need to meet, I'll make sure of it. For now, put Henry on. Look up.
She's going to look up.
There's a little light in the sky again.
Is that yours?
It is. Put Henry on.
Okay, so out of character, did Henry say smash the phone, like out loud?
Henry's literally just put his head to his hands and just muttered, "Oh my God, she's going to smash the phone."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she was being rude.
She says, "Did you get that from Amazon?"
No, I built it. Put Henry on.
She's like, I'm curious about it because I've heard about these fascinating little machines in the sky. And, like I heard that you can get them from the Amazon. And so I was just intrigued. You seem to be a person who knows how to get these things. And I might be interested in one.
Fucking boomer vampire. Put Henry on.
Oh, okay. Well, he seemed very insistent that I talk to you. So I'm sorry that you seem to be in such a foul mood. And you're not very good conversation. I was just trying to be friendly. Hello?
There's the silence.
So rude. And just like hand the phone back. You have very rude friends.
So it wasn't for you?
No. The voice on the other end of this infernal machine is very insistent that they talk to you, Henry. And they're very rude about it. And if I wasn't feeling so good right now and I wasn't in a good mood, I might smash this device right now.
Hello?
Hello. I would walk a few steps down the street so the others can't listen in.
They'll be able to hear me wherever I am. So it's easier this way.
All right. I know what you did last night, and I'm willing to make a deal to make that go away. So Kaya doesn't figure it out.
Well, I can just go and tell Kaya. I'm happy for that.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. She would most definitely execute you.
Excellent.
But I, on the other hand, need something. And you need something too. You need to talk to a certain FBI agent, and I can make that happen.
Do you have one?
No, but I have the IDs that make you a police officer. Along with Miss Quinn.
See, I said this could have been for Ella, because she's very important.
She's not the one who killed an old lady.
What old lady?
Exactly. I'll be in touch. Drop the phone, and she hangs up. The phone is getting warmer and warmer.
Drops the phone.
Yeah, it starts to sparkle a bit and then fizzles up.
Excellent. So we're going to have some police IDs, and we'll be able to find the FBI agent. Brilliant. Where to next?
Does he say that all out loud?
Oh yes.
Dahlia says, "Oh wow, who was that on the other end?"
Mm.
A woman.
You don't know this person.
You spoke to her more than me.
She had a Japanese accent, which I'm not going to do because I'm going to sound like someone from South Park. And that would be offensive.
So, okay, so we don't know who she is, but she's going to give us IDs of police officers, which to me feels more like Kaya's domain. But I mean, who am I?
We could go and ask Kaya.
Julian, you could of course hear the entire conversation.
He overheard all of that, including the coming through the phone as well. He's kind of like gets up and walks over. Oh well, at least we've made progress in that regard, I suppose.
What do you mean, Julian?
Well, if we can get access to the FBI agent, who knows what we can do next after that?
Do
We
you
still have
trust
to
this
find
person?
that killer.
I don't know if I would trust a rude, disembodied voice over a phone. What if the IDs are no good?
Sure, but I don't know. People have been pretty straightforward. If they wanted to hurt us in any way, they would just do it, or at least try.
Julian, darling, people are not always straightforward.
And he kind of like looks a little bit over to Henry to indicate like there's sort of like he just kind of like tilts his head all over to Henry just a bit, like and there's a look of like recognition towards him, like in reference to a previous conversation that Henry had with Julian. And I understand that, but at some point you have to act on faith, or else you won't get anything done. Believe me, when I was younger, I was afraid to even go to the door of the house. Now, I don't know. Things have worked out so far. Who's to think it won't continue that way?
If you say so.
Are you getting in the car and having this conversation, by the way?
By the way, Dahlia, I just wanted to apologize for snapping at you the other night. I know you mean well, but sometimes I think you fall into the same trap most people who have met me have, which is you see a blind man before the man. And I didn't say that like I've been alive for so long because I wanted to, I don't know, lord any authority. I was simply saying that for me, it's I'm a bit more than meets the eye, so to speak. I'm more capable than people give me credit for. But I know that you have a kind spirit, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad you're part of our group.
Julian, darling, I meant no offense. I suppose the impression I got was that for someone of your particular years, I have to say it's to your credit that you carry yourself as you do in such a way as to, well, your opinion of people. It's unusual for someone of your years. Refreshing, even.
Julian, you do realise that Dahlia murdered an innocent this morning. Not even like an hour or so ago. Completely out of hand. I just need you to. Just wanted to check after that lovely speech.
It was not murder.
No, you didn't give it chance. You just went for
No, it was not murder, Henry.
Then what was it?
It was
divine retribution.
Slaughter.
It was simply discipline is how I would categorize it.
I saw no discipline.
I realize that, but Henry, with all due respect, you don't see everything.
I saw you get angry, lose your temper, and then rip its throat out and just drain it dry.
That's not what happened. All right.
No,
I realize that's what you may think you have seen. Okay. But I think you take a very dim view of the world. Like, it's very dark. And I think that we've already seen the way that you see the darkness in others first, right? Like you go right for the darkness, Henry. It's concerning. It's concerning, and I'm not going to stand for it. I think that you should take Julian's view of the world, and look for the brightness, the good instead of the evil, the bad. So no, Henry, I do, and she's getting, it's like, no, this is not. In fact, I want you to apologize to me right now for categorizing and characterizing what happened in that way. Yeah.
That is quite interesting that you're telling me to look more, but there was no looking with you. There was no
we're not having this conversation.
Well, if I may answer your question, Henry, I try to stay on the straight and narrow path of the good man, and I don't want harm to be done to people. I don't, above all, want people to suffer. But I recognize what we are. And of all the ways that one can die, I have found that to die by our hands is a mercy oftentimes compared to what fate has in store for so many people. And though I will say, Dahlia, you fed, but he screamed. Usually it's bliss when we feed on people. And when their final moments are, moments of bliss. And yet, what is it? What did you do?
Julian, it was simply a cry of surprise. He was clearly unprepared for it.
There was a lot of blood, Dahlia. I could smell it. Listen, I understand.
You have a very sensitive nose, Julian. Like, there could be one drop of blood and you would smell it.
He's gonna put his hand on. He's gonna reverse what she's done to him and put his hand on her shoulder. It's all right if you lost control. It's okay.
I never lose control. I was simply disciplining the young man, and he was very rude. And he had it coming.
Rin, are you using your power?
Oh, I don't know if I can use it on other people. Can I?
Yeah, you found a way to cheat willpower. You sneaky bastard.
I think he wouldn't use it in this moment. I think he would just kind of be talking to her, but I will keep that I will keep that in mind for the future. But he's like, it's okay. It's all right. These things happen, but we must.
I resent the idea that was a mistake. It wasn't. He never introduced himself. I don't know why we're still talking about this. He was very rude, and
he did introduce himself, just not to you.
Dowser, nobody was talking to you.
Whoa, manners, please.
Can I ask a question? Henry, are you driving to church as this conversation is happening?
Henry's probably just driving in a circle at this point.
Okay.
I know my reactions to things may seem contradictory, but there are things in this life, or unlife, or whatever you call it, that are worse than death. Enslavement, prolonged suffering. These are things I will not abide by. But
Did I torture that young man? Did I?
I simply am curious why, if you bit him, that was his reaction. Whenever I bite
already,
people,
he was unprepared. Okay, clearly he has gone through his life, right, just treating people terribly, and for the very first time, and he didn't expect it coming from me, right? He got his just desserts, and he was quite unprepared for that. Just in the way that, for example, I'm sure that other people that we have encountered were quite unprepared for the fate that befell them. So, I mean, a cry of shock or surprise when divine justice and judgment visit us in life, yeah.
But
that's where that is a cry of shock, Julian.
I understand, but I've heard that before, but it only lasts for so long. When you latched on, why did he continue to scream? And Julian looks genuinely confused right now. Like, I don't understand.
He remembers the old Bane of the Cappadocian.
It was a painful agony. It wasn't momentary.
Can everyone give me a willpower check as a conversation? Just a flat willpower roll, not reroll or anything like that.
It's like sand loss going on in real time.
You lose sand here.
You may be able to clock at this moment. Julian is like, what is Hakata? What is this? What why does this happen to you? You bite, they scream? That's weird.
Bite, they scream?
Okay, everyone but Julian, you take a willpower damage.
Oh!
Julian, to the rest, for you, obviously you can't see, but you can kind of feel the way. All of you, except Julian, you start to hear whispers, inaudible whispers in your mind, and then a shriek and a pain that feels like an icicle being jammed into your head. Henry, obviously, slammed the brakes. You go blind, like white blind for a moment, and then the whispers stop.
So are we gonna...
What?
Does anyone
Henry,
know what
we
happened?
can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Okay, what happened and why was it Dahlia's fault?
I don't know. I'm just sitting in the middle seat having a conversation.
She is like recovering from slamming into the back of your seat because you slammed the brakes. She's like, "Ow,
We were
Henry!"
probably doing about 10 miles an hour. Henry was.
Yeah, but still, she's very dramatic about it. She's like, Henry, what? Were you not paying attention to the road?
Did something happen?
You have not had a headache in like 250 years, but you have one now.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Nothing.
What's wrong?
Look around. Where are we?
Where are we?
Down the street. I don't know where you're driving.
Right. I think the only way we can fix this is to go to the church.
I agree, 100%. I believe that we should have.
Jar driving, that's fine.
Julian, you kind of just heard them all kind of slap their own forehead and the motion of them all bending forward.
Is everything all right? There was a stir. What?
Horrible
scream.
voices. And I think Dahlia would use sense the unseen or check the veil just out of a reflex to make sure this isn't supernatural in origin.
I don't know. Just answers back. I don't know what's going on. We went from this conversation about how thin the line was between justice and homicide, and here we are. their brains playing tricks on us, or that the church will be a little bit better.
In my experience, that's not always the case.
There's always a time for oh, what's the word? I forget. It's like I've got something jammed in my head right now, so words aren't my best.
Ooh, sorry. That was my
Dahlia,
clarification. That
there's
was
obviously a bunch of wraiths around. The lake has an eerie glow, so does the fog, but you're used to that by now. And all of you have this thing, this dark abyssal energy around your heads.
Wow.
Like a halo almost, but it's slowly dissipating along with your headache.
Given her knowledge of Oblivion and everything, would she be able to ascertain what anything about any information at all about that particular assault?
Other than it's abyssal, you don't really know. It's just like you're brain dead, literally. So it shouldn't be nothing should be able to affect you in a psychic manner.
Right. Well, she's gonna pull out her little black book and make a note of abyssal assaults. Follow up on it.
You drive church. Well, it's like almost the other end of town, along the water. So at least you get to see the nice harbor front. The only thing worth noticing is, since the last time you were here, someone has put up a lot of things in a wharf. I think Dowser and Dahlia, you're the only one who noticed this because you were here.
Hmm.
And you see the fisherman again along the pier.
Look, Dowser. That's where they are. Your people.
Dowser will laugh at that because it's funny.
You get to the church. Sorry.
And then just like give a double take because it's confusing.
Also, it looks like they're not building a ship. It's part for like an oil rig, you think, or something like it's stationary.
Oh God, no!
Like you see a huge drill and everything.
They're gonna drill down into the kingdom of the sea people.
You get to the church. It's very dimly lit around, and obviously there's nothing, like no lights inside the church. I say church, but it's in reality like a massive cathedral. The only people on the streets are a homeless person shouting about sinners and priests being the worst of them, and they should come outside and face him. They're cowards and servants of Satan.
Sounds like a good guy.
Yeah. And there are the only light inside are from dimly lit candles.
Henry?
Henry did convince him to go to the church and protest there. Yeah. Which he seems to be doing to deaf ears. But yeah, it's quiet on the street, eerily quiet. There's no music playing or anything because it's I won't say in the middle of the night, but at least late evening by now.
So there's a book here, the Book of Eternal Darkness, and it may have some answers for us. It may help us to understand what's happened.
Book of Eternal Darkness?
They were quite sort of kitschy when they named books back then.
It doesn't sound like the sort of book we should be reading.
It's the sort of book we don't want to be in the hands of priests, especially priests where we live.
So that Julian's like, fair enough.
And how do you How do you suggest that we take it?
My first impression would be to torch this place to the ground because the book would survive. But I'm open to different suggestions.
Julian, can you give me a Dex and Athletics when you step out of the car? Difficulty 3.
Oh, it's getting more intense. So, Dex. Oh, wait, sorry. Athletics. Dex. And then 1 from Judge. And I will willpower this, my lord.
Good choice.
1, 2, 5. Okay. So 3.
3. That's just enough. You hear the sound of like wires starting to being like pulled, and the metal being torn apart. I don't know if you've ever heard like a cable snap, but that
like
sounds,
on ships.
Yeah,
Like
there's a power cable right above you guys, or at least above Julian, that snaps and just slams down. If it would have hit him, it would have cut him in half, but he just steps aside and it just slams on the ground. There's a bit of but then it fades out.
You are a very lucky man.
Did Ella
Those sorts
see
of things
this?
just happen.
Yeah, you see
This is the second time that she's seen that, so she's like curious about what Julian's done to trees in a past life to almost get offed by them twice in a row.
The
Well,
good thing is there's no light on the street anymore.
If we do need an excuse for a fire, perhaps now I think we have one. And it's like sizzling on the ground or something.
Henry, you didn't do that, did you?
No,
You wouldn't wish any harm upon our companion here, would you?
I've already made it very clear that I will do anything to help any of you, and I would never act against you.
Okay, I was just making sure because, like, you had mentioned the fire, and then this horrible power line comes down. It sparks all over the place.
That's electricity, not fire.
He's into culling family trees, not an arborist taking real ones.
Okay, all right. It seemed like an eerie coincidence to me. That's all.
I wouldn't worry about it. These things happen. Maybe fate has it out for me, for all I know.
Why would fate have it out for someone so gentle and kind as yourself?
Which one? There are 3.
I was thinking more of just the capital F fate. Or at least it's what they tell me is capital. Because I'm literate. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I think it's the fate. The thread of fate.
The one who measures, the one who cuts, or...
I don't know. Maybe all 3 of them.
It's interesting. So, anyone good at knocking down doors, opening locks, that sort of thing?
Certainly, but Henry, question more about this book because I don't know about it. Would you say that it's too dangerous for mortal hands?
I would say it's very dangerous in mortal hands. It will... It opens the abyss to you.
Understood. I didn't know when you said the priest, I didn't know if it was specifically within the religion or mortal, which in this could be synonymous. But
it would give them power, which we really don't want them to have.
Are we talking about good ones or bad ones here?
Any ones that might use it against us.
That's fair.
Whereas I may be able to find answers through the abyss.
So do you think that this is basically reclaiming what is ours or yours?
All I know is that I have to have that book.
I would like to look at it first to make sure it's safe and it doesn't harm you. So, just checking it, making sure that everything, it doesn't sound like a pleasant sort of artifact. And I'm very good with books. So I would like to help assist, in that way.
I think the safest thing would be to open it inside our sanctum.
Henry,
Well, not
question
the
for you.
innermost.
Mhm.
Is this a matter of salvation?
It could be the. I'm not one for words, Miss Quinn. I'm hoping it would help us by giving us answers.
Understood. Just like to see what might lay within both the church and this text, especially if it contains more than scripture, in the event that it's laced with code or darker histories.
If it contains any scripture, it would not be in relation to any of this church. It is purely a link to the abyss.
How do you know the book is here?
Agnes.
Agnes.
Oh, yes.
They both turn around and say it at the same time. Agnes.
I thought Devon might have it, but evidently it's here.
And do they know the value of the book? Some churches, they give texts away for free. They put them in, places that you can stay the night and in the nightstand next to your bed. I don't know.
Priests, they know when I'm near. They will know when the book is near them as well. They will not mistake this.
The bad ones or the good ones?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
I have a feeling this won't be easy to retrieve.
I'll just
Do
say
they know? Continue, Julian.
I was just going to say, I think we should. I think a fire would not be well advised. We wouldn't want to bring any more heat upon you, Henry, than you have already acquired for yourself. And it gives like a kind of like little smile in his direction.
We have IDs coming, right? Right? Do we have IDs?
Yes. Police.
Yeah, so
they can say we're the police.
well, I mean, we can ask first, subpoena later, right? Like if they don't give it to us willingly, we can force it second.
I'm keen just to get inside. I'm kind of getting a bit antsy inside, and I don't want to do a Dahlia, but I would really, really like to be in there and grab that book.
Excuse me.
I apologize. I am doing my very best to keep myself calm, and I don't like to, I am very.
But you said that these priests would not like your company, so perhaps it's best if you just stayed out here and let us retrieve the book.
I would like to agree, but Henry gets out of the car. I really need to get into that room. I don't know what the room is or where the room is.
Henry, you need to control yourself.
We really need to get into the room now.
That is a lot coming from you, Dahlia. Henry, this is what we will do. Henry, we will get you the book. We will go in. The four of us can take care of the three musketeers or whoever else is in charge of this congregation. And you can go on an expedition looking for the book.
Yep,
you know what you're looking for. I don't know.
Fantastic. I'm raising prowess.
Yes.
Is there snow on the ground?
A bit.
Right, where are
we done?
Attacking priests with holy water would be really fun.
Faffing about. Talking about talking.
Front door, in case you're wondering, is not locked.
Aha!
It's not. Of course it's not. That's always a great sign.
Who goes in first? Yes. Both of you, shoulder by shoulder. Since Henry is the only one I care about in this instance because of a particular flaw, where are you in this situation?
When you say where are we, are you referring to our position in relation to each other?
Yeah, Henry, are you staying in the back or are you?
Well, Henry's going to be making a beeline, so if other people are trying to get in front of him, then they will.
All right. So you walk in the double doors as a group, in my mind. Walk into the cathedral, a bit more light in here because of well, it's obviously very tall windows, so when you get inside you can see more. The most brightly lit is the altar. And of course, the Jesus at the end of the hall. There are several priests in here. 7. Who are... well, they have the back turned, but As you come in, they turn around, they smile, they see Henry, they all grab their cross and their prayer beads and start praying a bit to themselves, look nervous, kind of
they're all bad
ignoring the
people.
rest of you. They seem very focused on Henry. The man closest to the altar, he turns around, he's still smiling. He's about, well, you'd guess early 60s, late 50s. Great short hair, no beard, dressed like a Catholic priest. The white thing, the black dress, everything. He's not grasping his cross like the rest of them. But he calls out. There's obviously a bit of an echo in here, or at least the acoustics are meant to carry a voice. He just says, "Welcome, friends. We're closed at the moment, but please come in, take a seat." And he looks at the rest. "You all go home now. Go home." And they look at him, a bit nervous, then Henry again, and then they rush out the back.
Oblivious to all of this, Henry will sense the unseen and trying to look for signs of the book.
Dahlia will do the same.
The only thing in here you see is people, or I say people, wraiths sitting in on the benches praying and looking at the G-man or the J-man and the priest.
Dahlia licks her lips just a little bit.
Oh, right for the harvest. The man, he walks slowly towards you and says, "Good evening. My name is Father Whitaker. What can I do for you? The sermon is tomorrow evening, but I have a feeling you're not here to pray."
Oh,
He looks at
is he
Henry
talking
again.
to her? Oh,
It's just all of you. Well, I think you're in the front, so yeah.
no, actually, we were here to pray. It seems that we were driven here. We are new to this establishment, I believe, Mr. Whitaker. Thank you for allowing us to be here, albeit early for your sermon that I believe is for tomorrow, yes?
Yes, unfortunately, I think it will be in a time where you're sleeping. As your kind tend to do. He smiles. It's a warm smile. He's not hostile or anything.
Dowser will sit down on a bench and say a silent seaman's prayer.
While they're talking, Henry's going to hold up a piece of glass.
Oh, Ella's going to continue to bullshit. Mr. Whitaker, it seems that there's more than one way of being saved in this town. It seems that there are a lot of wanted posters and or missing posters. Are you familiar with this situation here?
It's a tragedy. All those young, poor women just disappearing. Tragedy, of course.
Right. So it seems that my friends, an extended family that I've happened upon here recently, are also deeply concerned about the situation. Do you have any prayer groups here? Do you have any groups for people to remember these individuals who are gone, but certainly not forgotten?
Of course, we have our various charities to help people, and our grief support groups for the people left behind. And we, of course, pray that these missing people will someday return to us. But so far, no one has turned up yet. So we fear the worst, but hope for the best.
Is she killing enough time for them to look around at stuff?
It's a big place, but he is looking at everyone, but he's smiling. He does not mind people like touching the I assume people stay away from the fire, but if they start like going behind him and towards the doors to the back, then he might object.
Now,
May I? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
okay, no, continue.
May I just do a general like awareness? Like at the hospital, we could hear that there was like a basement and things were going on down there. if like Julian just kind of like taps his cane a little bit here and there, would I be able to do like a heightened senses to see if I can get like a feel for how big this facility is? Like if it has a basement, a attic, so on and so forth, like what may be going on?
It is large and up like many floors, but I mean, it's not like it's a 4-story thing because it does not have a ceiling or a floor on each floor. It's just a tall building. You have the clock tower, obviously. But there is a crypt below.
Okay.
You hear a voice coming. It's just like ringing out through the place. And it says, "Anthony, go home." And he just immediately straightens up and walks out the door. The whole place starts to fill with shadows, like tendrils, and all the lights are blown out. "You are not here to see my ghoul. You are here to see me, yes?"
Yes.
A man appears out of the shadows. He is dark-skinned, has dreadlocks, like a black coat, very short beard. Has a bunch of like trinkets and everything around his wrists and his necks and pearls in his dreadlocks. Dressed completely in black, and it's like his clothes have shadowy kind of flames attached to them. Yeah, you know the close shadows when you see it, or at least imagine it.
Devon?
Yeah, my name is Devon Facey.
Devon. Pleasure to meet you.
It's just mine.
Agnes, Agnes said that you may have a book that I'm looking for.
The Book of Eternal Darkness.
That would be the one. Is there anything I can do to acquire the book?
I have something for you. There are several cults in the city. I would like to know about them. They are not Christian, and therefore I do not control them.
Okay. Do you have a number?
I have
Or like information on any of these?
names. The Masks of Pandemonium. The Sisterhood of the Silvery Moon. Would be nice if I had written them in the same place.
Strange sounding cult.
And the Pontianaks. Or Kuntianaks. It is Indonesian vampiric ghost, so I assume Kaya has something to do with it.
You just want information.
Yeah. Where they're located, any members, anything you can get me. And I'll get you the book. But beware, that book is temptation. The power. And it will eat you if you do not know how to appease it. It is a living thing.
I don't know why I want it.
Because you crave power, Mr. Henry.
Some.
It contains abyss mysticism. An art forgotten.
Oh, Henry.
That makes more sense.
Are you La Sombra?
No.
Curious.
The priests here. All of them are yours?
Yes.
I will speak to my friend outside.
Thank you. Yes.
Are there other
noisy.
trysts?
No, this is the biggest one. We have other circus, but if it's Christian, it's mine.
Okay.
I have made sure that no other religions are in this town.
Well, if you're controlling them, that at least reassures me. Priests can get troublesome if they're allowed to go around with free will.
They need to be controlled.
Definitely.
Or they start an inquisition or witch hunt. And we are usually on that bonfire by the end of it. And there's great power in religion. It's like money.
I suppose. Wow. I was expecting to have to come in and kill a lot of priests. Much simpler.
I would prefer it if you didn't.
Oh, no, well, now we know. This is why we introduce and say hello and, well, pointing at Ella and Dahlia. They normally do the talking, so I've kind of put my foot in my mouth normally by this point.
You have a particular aura about you, Henry.
No. Sorry, it's Henry's
yes.
a few steps back now.
Dahlia is nodding, in response, like, oh yeah, total aura, this one.
I like you. You're interesting.
Henry's continuing his slow shuffle backwards, nodding and gently pushing past anyone that's behind him. So, pleasure meeting you. I'll start the car.
Now, is there something I can do for the rest of you?
There was a particular experience that we had on the way here. Something that you yourself might know something about.
Half an hour ago?
You express it exactly.
Happened to me as well.
Have you any insight or thoughts on this particular phenomenon, its source, cause, anything like that?
I do not know the source, but it happens to all supernaturals in Dusktown.
How long has this been going on?
A couple of months.
Recent, then? You've not found, given your particular leanings, your particular explorations into darkness, any sort of correlation or associations that might indicate any further information about this phenomenon happens at random for the last 2 months?
Unfortunately not.
Well,
But it is not me doing it. And I'm not exempt from feeling it.
Very obviously not. Yeah. I was not implying that you were the cause of it. I suspect that if you yourself suffer from it, it would not be ideal.
My theory is human necromancers, and that is my interest in the cult. Maybe some of them are doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Suggestions about which cult might be engaged in that sort of activity?
That will be up to Henry to find out.
I see.
And you might help all of us.
I would be happy to assist Henry in this task. He just gets a little overzealous sometimes around priests who have done bad things. So.
The engine starts from outside of the building.
She's going to turn to Julian, of all people, and go, any animals following us in here, Julian?
Are there any animals? Dear storyteller.
No.
Okay.
Nope. They
No.
die if they cross the threshold.
Interesting.
I
You've
do
taken
not
care of
need.
your vermin issue.
I do not need the speaker in my business.
The speaker. Okay.
She is Nosferatu, of course. She controls the vermin.
Hmm. Makes sense. Makes sense. Rats and whatnot. We'll have
And the
to speak.
ravens too.
Hmm? What
And
do
the ravens too. Is there someone in control of ravens?
I do not know. I assume Kaya, she is more fond of the winged beast, but I have not been followed by a raven. Maybe that's just you.
Do you know anyone? There's this recent machine we've been made aware of. It's called a drone. Do you know who could have access to something like that? Or is prone to using it? Since I understand you can get drones from the Amazon.
Ah, the child of Malkav. She is good with technology.
Who's this? sorry.
Nishida. I do not work around machines, my friend. But I know she does. And no, I do not know where to find her. Nobody does.
I too do not. I'm not good around machines either. Yeah.
What was her name?
Nishida Takahashi.
Thank you. Now we have a bit a name to the voice.
Hmm.
She is rude and impatient.
She certainly is. It's just she's just gonna find something. She really is. Thank you.
And if you ever have a conversation with her or meet her, don't talk with her for too long, you'll go mad.
Well, I made it brief and short, but sometimes my associates don't trust my judgment of people's manners. And so, thank you.
Trust me, it's
David.
preferable over the phone. If you can't use the thing over the phone.
What thing?
The thing they do that makes you mad. The child of Malkup.
Oh.
They share the craziness like an infection. Whenever they open their mouth, blah, 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 you go insane. But it takes a while. Trust me, phones are preferred. I have to meet her face to face if I want to do any business with her.
You've been most helpful.
You just gives a slight bow.
I think Henry is actually probably growing impatient. He seems very insistent on pursuing this Book of Darkness, or at least rather these cults for you to get the Book of Darkness. It's very...
It is an important book. I understand his obsession. I had the same at some point in time, but I've read it now. I know what it can do and what it cannot do.
And come through unscathed, no doubt.
I'm not willing to pay the price.
May we ask what that price is, or?
You may not.
Understood. But you have been very helpful to us. Thank you. I'm Julian, by the way.
You're a good man, Julian.
I've tried to tell him this.
This will get you killed.
I've also tried to tell him this.
I try to be good. But a man like me has to be careful. I'm careful. And also, I don't care what happens next. I look at life like a book that I can't read, but people read to me, you know? And you don't know what's happening on the next page, but it's always entertaining in some way. And well, things will be as they will be, but if we can add a few notes into the margins, you know, that's where the real fun is. But, and it kind of like trails off a little bit and just kind of goes off in his own little world for a moment. I will go, and he gets up. I'm gonna go and keep Henry company. And he'll get up and doesn't even, since he knows he's with vampires, he doesn't even puts the cane up and just walks out normally.
Very good ears on that one. You could probably hear me right now. David, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure we'll be back soon.
With good news, I hope.
We're very efficient as a group, very effective. I found that my companions and I get quite a lot done on any given night, and we are quite effective in that way. So, and your manners are impeccable, sir, and I appreciate it.
Likewise. Welcome to Dusktown.
We've actually been here for quite some time. We just took a break from all the politics, as it were.
Ah, sleeping, eh?
Yes, in a manner of speaking. Mm-hmm. You know, everyone needs to do that now and again, just kind of get away from it all and spend some time in the...
There's no getting away from Dusktown.
Oh, I didn't mean literally. I meant socially. So, yeah. Not geographically. Yeah.
In case I'm too much of a coward, I'm afraid I will never wake again. Or wake in the abyss.
Let us speak more about that in the future, because I am fascinated by the thought of the abyss as a place, as a matter of subject of exploration. And of course, it's a place that most people would not dare to go, but it's morbid curiosity, you could chalk it up to. Yeah.
He nods approvingly. My doors are always open.
And we shall darken them once more. Good evening to you, sir.
Gives a slight bow again.
Yeah, and she's going to walk out.
The rest of you follow?
Dowser will go. I assume there's some sort of collection plate or something closer to the back of the church, and he'll go and he'll pull out the wallet he pulled off a corpse.
Oh, you do have $50.
And I'll just place it in the collections plate.
Just drops the wallet in there.
You are now Humanity 9.
Not the wallet, just the money.
Is that what we gotta do?
No, it doesn't work.
Can I go back to the strip club and dance? Can I get some humanity back that way?
Yeah, for an hour.
Dance for humanity. I think, you know what, that's a callback to like Bloodlines. I think you could do that and get humanity.
You get outside. The car is nice and warm now. Henry has preheated it. You get inside.
Henry probably left them all behind, but got lost and came back.
Just turned around. As you drive away, there's a road crew showing up to fix the power lines. Or not a road crew, but whoever does that. Power people.
The utility company is what we call it here in America.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if utility was just water or if it's also power.
Yeah.
Because it's separate. Well, we don't have to think too much about where you're driving because this is where we end the session. I think we won't get
That's
to
so
do.
many other places to go, though. We could hunt down cults. We could go see Cassandra.
Oh man, I sure am hungry. Look at that pedestrian over there.
I know.
Look at that power crew. All of them.
Boy, here we go killing again.
That's such a good line. Yeah, so I want to hear MVP. Henry, who was your MVP?
Oh, tough one. It could have been anyone, but I'm just going to give it straight to Ella just for that daunt. Just for there's an earthquake. And it was like, okay, we'll follow the Ventru. Come on, heads down.
Dahlia?
Henry and I are on the same page here. Like as soon as that happened, that was the most Ventru thing of the entire episode. Just very like, hi, I'm Ella. I wasn't here last time, but I'm here now, and I'm going to remind you of what I am. And so yeah, it was very well done.
Awesome.
Ella, but not for the daunt, for shutting down Dahlia constantly.
And Ella?
Ooh, I'd say it's a toss-up between Dowser, because Dowser came in clutch. They're the reason we had a car to get into today, and also like in the first minute of the game session, going from I did a good thing, this is helpful, to there they go, they are murked now. So that's cool, I guess. It's like Finding Nemo, good feeling gone. We're just like, oh, that's great. And then also, I think, Henry, that's interesting because I don't know about other people, but there's definitely something really interesting with that book that is helpful. And I have some regret that I did not make more effort for my item that I was in front of during the session. So be a toss-up.
That's okay. We'll go back and just yeet them out of a window and whatever it was.
No, I'm gonna get all the girls together. I'm gonna train them in guns because I've got a specialty in guns and weaponry. So I'm gonna treat them, and they're gonna become a girl gang, and they're gonna take him down. And or not
the stripper militia.
I gotta be honest.
It's a stripper militia. Yes, thank you.
As soon as you said that, I had like Old Town from Sin City in my head.
Thank you. Okay, do you see where I'm going with this character?
Yes, I was on the same page right away. Just like
I have the thing where in Cyberpunk where the mocks take back the club from like all the girls. Julian, who is your MVP?
I'd have to say Ella, because for the same reasons mentioned, like it's peak Ventru. It's like how do you herd kindred? You put the fear of Ventru in them, and it's like it was so good. Like everybody's fucking around, and then you have like Julian sitting on the side. They're like wrestling over the guy and arguing, and then it's just like, and then she's like, "Knock your shit off, everyone! Get in the fucking car." It's like. Like mom came home, you know what I mean?
Oops.
It was so perfect. It was very Ventru, peak Ventru. So
I feel like it's like older sister vibes where it's like mom can't legally hit you, but what siblings do before mom gets home.
Right.
I know how not to leave bruises. Moon. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord. But I feel like that, especially since it's really good to have that kind of character in the coterie as well, because it looks like we are turning kind of into chaos goblins a little.
We are chaos goblins,
No,
right?
no,
No matter
effective.
what.
Don't worry, if Dahlia tries to murk someone else that I'm talking to, I will stop her. There's not much you can do when I can do 10 Agatia.
Yes, that's true. That would hurt a lot. Yeah.
No, you can roll a new character.
I don't even have to kill you. You're gonna kill each other.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna kill each other. Yeah.
It's gonna go from Dusktown to Dusktown because we're just gonna be ashed from within.
Right.
All right, I have updated the XP. People soon have the things to buy things and stuffs.